Today I'm going to be showing you a soft and natural bridal look that you can do if your makeup artist is already booked for the day that you're wanting, if you just can't afford a makeup artist, or you just want to do your own makeup that day. Today we're going to be using our all-in-one makeup compact, and we're going to only use these shades that are in this palette. Starting off first with the most important step to a long-lasting makeup look, and that is skin prep. We're going to start off with the Saint cream, which has lactic acid, helps to gently exfoliate off any dead skin on the face, so it's going to give you a beautiful glow, give you a mini facial, and really keep that skin nice and hydrated. If you are oily, two things that you're going to want to do is first take a little bit of setting spray, and you're going to put this on top of that moisturizer in those areas where you get the oiliest. I know this is going to sound crazy, but we're going to take a little bit of loose setting powder, and we're just going to apply a very, very light amount, just again in those areas where you get a little bit oily. Do a light dusting of that. We're going to just let that all sit and absorb, and while we do that, we're going to start off with the eyes. So the first thing I like to do is my brows. This is the shade Trust with the line brush. I just take the spoolie and brush my brows into place. I'm gonna grab a little tiny bit of that Trust eyeshadow, and I'm just gonna fill in the little sparse areas. This is gonna give a more natural brow effect. You can make the brows as defined as you want. For this look, I want something soft. Then I'm going to take my blend brush and a little tiny bit of my Pop highlight shade, and I'm just going to put that on my eyelid as a eyeshadow primer. And I just like to set that with a little bit of powder just to make sure our eyeshadow will last all day. Moving on to the eyeshadow brush. This is a double-ended brush, and we're going to start off with the fluffy side in this shade right here called Pup. It's a perfect natural transition shade. Then we're going to move on to this shade right here. This is called Crush. It is a gorgeous rose tone color. You can definitely switch it up if you want to, but I think that it is super bridal, super soft, but super glam. You can see how pretty and soft this is, but if you want a little bit more of a boom, you can go ahead and take a flat eyeshadow brush and a little tiny bit of the setting spray, and we're just going to spray that onto the brush, and it's going to turn this into a liquid metal eyeshadow. You can see the difference between this eye here and this eye here. I'm gonna take a little tiny bit of that Trust shade again, and I'm just going to take the pointed side of the eyeshadow brush and just line this across my lash line, and this is going to add a little bit more contrast to the eyes and just really make them stand out. See the difference between this side here and this side here. Just like using my little brush cleaning tile just to go ahead and take off any excess so that I can go into a lighter shade. And this does fit in our magnetic compact right here. I'm going to go into this shade here called Sabrina, just to add a little bit of extra glow to the inner corner of the eye and really make the eyeshadow look come together. Now that we've let our skincare completely set into our face, we're going to take the blend brush for a nice and natural yet airbrush finish. Start off first with a little bit of our contour shade in the smallest side of the blend brush, and we're just going to lightly diffuse that onto our cheekbones right here. If you struggle figuring out where to put your contour, just take the top of your ear here, and you're going to take your brush, and right there where that line is, you're going to go a little bit above just to add some lift. I'm going to contour our forehead, so I like to take my arch, and everything behind there I'm going to basically put some contour. And if you have a longer forehead than what you like, we're just going to go ahead and take some of that contour and just put it right in between here. Taking that same brush and just putting some on the bridge of our nose to go ahead and contour our nose. This is going to add nice contrast and really give you a nice soft sculpted look. Then taking that same exact brush, we're not going to clean it off or anything. We're going to take some of our main highlight shade and use this to color correct any areas where you want a little bit of extra coverage. I'm going to use the larger side of the blend brush and just grab a little bit of that main highlight shade and put that along our jawline, around our mouth, on our cheeks, a little tiny bit on our forehead right underneath that contour. Finish off the look using that small brush again. We're going to go ahead and apply a little bit of this brightening highlight shade just to make everything pop a little bit more and give you more of that lit from within look. Putting some down the bridge of our nose, on the outer corners of our eyes, a little tiny bit on the center of my forehead. Then I'm going to use this fluffy side again just to start blending everything in. So we're going to use very small circular motions to blend this in, and this is what's going to give you that airbrush finish. If you feel like you have too much on your face, you can always take your damp sponge and just press it in those areas where you feel like it might be a little bit too heavy, and this will pick up any excess and make sure that you do not get oily. I'm going to add a little bit of color back into our skin. So we're going to start off with a bronzer. This is the shade Palm. It is a very natural bronzer. It doesn't really show up too much, so if you're scared of bronzer, this is the one that you need. I just like to take a little bit on the bridge of my nose and kind of in this W shape just to kind of give me a sun-kissed look. I'm gonna add a little bit of blush. I'm using Boardwalk, so this is a glossy finish. It's gonna give you a more sheer finish and give you a little bit of a lit from within glow. If you want that little sun-kissed look, just put a little bit on the bridge of the nose and kind of do a little W shape. Now we're looking super dewy, super glowy. So if you're not a fan of this look, we're gonna go ahead and set it with some powder. So I'm taking my powder brush and gonna grab my pressed powder, and I'm going to start off by just rubbing this back and forth to pick up some of that product. What I'm gonna do is first start off by setting underneath my eye. So I use that fluffy side to just go ahead and make sure it's nice and smooth. And then I'm going to press that powder under my eyes. Press the powder into our pores right here. Anywhere else where you tend to get a little oily. So I'd get oily around my eyebrows. Also gonna add a little bit of sculpting to my contour. You can see how that's really toned down the glow that our skin has going on, and this is gonna make sure your makeup lasts all day. And if you're super duper oily, I highly suggest picking up some of the Red Aspen loose setting powder. This one looks like a real life filter. I'll show you what it looks like. You can see how super airbrushed this side looks. This side still has a little bit of that glow, but it's just not as much. So if you like more of a matte look, definitely recommend this loose setting powder. I usually think that a matte look just doesn't look that natural. So I like to take a little bit of the cream illuminator just to add a controlled glow back into the skin. So I start at the top of my cheekbones, bridge of my nose, the inner corner of my eye, my brow bone, a little bit on the Cupid's bow for a nice little glow. You can see the difference between that illuminator versus no illuminator. Before we do anything else, we're going to set our face one more time. You can use the Saint setting spray. I love this stuff because it's literally liquid cement and it rehydrates your skin. Again, you can take some of that setting powder just one more time just to go ahead and make sure that everything lasts and you get rid of any glow that you don't want. I just like to add a little tiny bit of that Trust shade to my lower lash line because this is going to give the illusion of fuller lashes. Use our eyelash curler to go ahead and curl our lashes, and please make sure that you use setting spray before putting on mascara. I usually recommend a waterproof mascara, but this is one of my favorites for a lot of fullness and just adding a little bit more drama without adding fake lashes. The Pump It Up Maggie Blackest Black Mascara, I'm telling you, this stuff is super, super black. So if you like a really black mascara, this one is a must-have. Look at the difference that just one coat of mascara does compared to nothing. I like to build up the drama, so I will add a second coat of mascara, and I kind of like to wing this out just a little bit so it gives me more of that like siren eye look. You can leave it like this if you want a fresh look, but I know most people like that bottom mascara, so I'm just gonna put a little light layer of this. Finish with a must-have lip liner. This is the Sweetheart lip liner from Morphe. Finish the look with a little bit of that Boardwalk lip and cheek, and I'm just going to use my fingers to apply that. If you feel like this is just a little bit too nude for you, using a brown lip liner like Gerard Cosmetics Mudslide is going to be great to just add a little bit of contrast and kind of give you a more contoured pouty lip. And this is the final soft and natural bridal makeup look using just one palette. And add lashes to this look to glam it up. All the details to this look and how to shop are listed down below.